Hey guys, it's Michael, Lawrence Accountability. I am not in Lawrence today. Actually drove out to central Kansas. I'm here with Andrew, questioning your accountability or questioning their authority, because he actually went into the Barton County Courthouse today and questioned the authority of a judge, of the chief judge. Andrew, why don't you go ahead and explain why we were here today?
If you go back and look, I did a Second Amendment audit, all based off of the local county commissioners wanting to make a proclamation that Barton County is going to be a Second Amendment sanctuary. This occurred back in 2019. I tested that a few months ago, and I did not test that on the third floor because that's where court services were, and I was not too familiar with if my Second Amendment rights extended there. Upon going up there within this last week, I determined that they very much did apply, and it wasn't until yesterday I was approached by the chief judge while I was interacting with the county attorney on a separate matter that he was going to grant me the authority to exercise my Second Amendment yesterday, but if I showed back up today, I would no longer have his approval. Well,
and you'd be in contempt of court.
The chief judge let me know yesterday that I, in fact, was not violating any law whatsoever, but if I showed back up today, armed, which if you want to show the gun on my hip, big belly, but the gun on my hip, if I showed back up today the way I was yesterday, which I'm wearing the exact same clothes.
He doesn't shower.
I don't shower. I did today because Mike came to town, but you know, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That I would be held in contempt of court. It was my position that being in a public hallway of a public building, that his authority did not grant to me at that point.
It hinged on the ancillary courtroom aspect of it.
Correct.
And your argument for that not being an ancillary courtroom was that there's other services available in that same hallway.
There are the county attorney, which is not subject to the authority of the court. And that was my whole premise. We discussed this yesterday. After much consideration, I decided we're going to go ahead and protest this today. This is an important enough matter that if it requires me going to jail for 90 days, 180 days, or 365 days, it's not my rights, it's all of our rights.
Now, we honestly didn't know going into court today what was going to happen, and Andrew had set up already for me to be able to take his equipment with him if he was to be arrested and thrown in jail. Fortunately, I think the judge saw the point that you made, and I think he understood it. What do you think?
I do. I think that the court, and I put this on the record, the court had a preconceived notion of myself going in based off of others' opinions and others' interactions. I think I did a good job of articulating that that in fact was not the case. And the court was open-minded. The court was willing to listen to my arguments. And at the end of the day, I received an admonishment. You know, I got my little slap on the wrist. But the judge also offered that he was going to look into the issue, and did not die on that hill. We have meetings set up in the future, and we're going to discuss the issue of the hallway. And honestly, all the way around, I consider this a win.
And as I told the judge before I left, one of the things that we keep running into as accountability activists and people out there trying to express our rights is that the judiciary continues to be the bright spot. Every time we run into a prosecutor or an attorney or somebody that says we can't do something, or even a police officer that overstretches, it's the judiciary that reins them in and keeps them within the law. And I think that's what we're going to see here.
I believe so.
Andrew, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Fake handshake.
Thanks for coming.